Can I?
Yeah.
Can I start?
It was so
The way you were like, gotta stop. Gotta keep going.
Because I just know that maybe he was just recording, you know. I
Well,
just
she
wanted to
was
find
recording,
out,
she's
you know.
trying to catch you.
Okay.
Okay, let's start.
Hello and welcome to Thamba Private Game Reserve. My name is James and this is Sofa Safaris. So before we continue, I just want to give a little bit of a heartfelt speech here, over the history of humankind. Thousands of years, we have been very fortunate to have been in the presence of such amazing people who have shaped and shifted the entire civilization to what we know of today. People like Galileo and Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King, JFK, Michael Bublé and Ryan Reynolds, for example. And today we are joined by none other than the legend himself, Mr. Orange, the king of the Sabi Sands, tracker extraordinaire, a man who is absolutely one of the most terrifying people I've ever met in my entire life, a man who sends fear into the hearts of every lion, a man who sends shivers up the trunks of every elephant. And before you do ask, yes, his name is Orange and he likes to go by the color, not by the fruit. So, Orange, you ready for this, my bud?
Yes, I'm ready.
Wonderful. Let's
Let's
do
do
this.
this.
Both of them just turned their heads immediately looking directly north and east of us. Could also be that they saw Orange. They got terrified of him because he's the boss in this reserve. We all know that.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows that, dude. You know that. King himself. He sent shivers up the
King of Sabi Sands.
You said the shivers up the trunk of every elephant there, but yeah,
Yeah, my God.
sure. But when you aim that thing at me, hey?
Other Mafazi was Mackenzie sides. And
Okay. So here we go. Looks like Orange has pointed out he does this very special thing where every time he finds a track, arms up like that, points straight to the ground. It gets your heart rate going a little bit because he knows what he's doing when that type of thing. Now, just so that you guys are aware as well, tracking in very poor light. As you can see, it's a little bit cloudy this morning and it is as cold as Santa Boots at the moment. But the light that we have makes it a little bit more difficult for Orange to actually be able to do his job. When the sun is shining down, particularly at an angle when it's rising or setting, you will find that the sun actually creates very minute shadows, accentuating the tracks and bringing them out a little bit more for Orange to find. But fortunately for us on this side, as you just saw, we've got very soft soil and you can see the tracks relatively clearly and quite crisp as well. Now, this female that we are kind of tracking at the moment, she is the adult, the oldest lioness in the newly named Bateleur Pride. And very fortunately, we've been having very good sightings lately with her and her 3 new cubs, 2 little boys and 1 little girl, I believe. And she's been kind of loitering around this area while her 2 daughters are sort of further down in the south, coming of age. And they've been mating with our newly named Nkomati males. So she's been kind of by herself in this area a little bit. I didn't see. Where? Oh my gosh. What? Hey. Okay, so this is pretty awesome. Now here in South Africa, we're fairly well represented by a large family of hornbills. And what we have here is a tree full of trumpeter hornbills, which is, we do get them. We do get a fair amount of them in the further reaches of the reserve, further northern reaches of the reserve. But, it's not as commonly seen as, say, your yellow-billed, grey, or red-billed hornbills, the zazus of the hornbill family. These guys over here, they are easily recognizable. In actual fact, it was the Master Orange that spotted the whole flock of them up in the tree over there. They have a far greater beak than a majority of the other hornbills. The males in particular have got a very large, what they call a casque, C-A-S-Q-U-E, growing over the top. Very toucan-like. which is what makes them very, very cool. However, it does have, the reason why it's called a trumpet or hornbill is because it does have a awful sound when it makes its call. Sounds like somebody has grabbed a toddler by its big toe and swung it around. Very, very cool to see something like that. Now, although their beaks look big, bulky, and very, very heavy, they are actually completely hollow, which allows them to fly quite comfortably, and it doesn't weigh them down. Although they have a very, very undulating flight. So the flights, they fly up and then they glide and fly up and glide. So it does look like the beak does weigh them down, but it actually doesn't. Now we're in the zone again. Hooray. So we did mention that South Africa has a fairly large hornbill family. Here we have 2 yellow-billed hornbills, and these guys are absolutely awesome. You saw back there they were just doing their little morning display, and the male and the female are busy sitting there.
We just came around to find out the hornbill was busy shuffling around on an elephant dung here. So he was checking about the grubs and the fruits. You can see there's some little fruits here. These are the magic guari fruits. You can see little seeds here. So they were checking of they were having breakfast this morning.
There's a red-billed hornbill now he was busy breaking open the dung, eating a couple of seeds and whatnot. He's running around, and he'll also be looking, because at this time of the day it's relatively brisk, so a lot of the sort of termites and ants and insects will still be moving around on the road. And this guy is going from point A to point B, dung pile to dung pile, and a lot of the termites might still be active. The harvesters might still be moving around on the surface of the ground, of the road, and of course he will be getting a nice little feast out of that as well. Very, very lucky for us. The lions have just been located. However, they are on an impala kill. I would just advise for sensitive viewers, this may not be the prettiest thing. Nature is nature though. Here we go. Obviously, this is everything that we do this for. I mean, right now we're sitting with one of the lionesses from the Bateleur Pride. We did see the second one, I think the mother of the 3 cubs. Again, the cubs don't seem like they are present, but very fortunately for us, they have killed an impala last night, as previously mentioned. Looks like there is very, very little left of the carcass, and you can only see 1 female here for the time being. But it looks like an impala ram. Obviously, he was a little bit too busy trying to find love, and sadly enough, got slightly distracted, and the lions, being incredibly opportunistic animals, managed to take it. So right now, as it stands, the lioness has basically just left what was very little remains of that kill. Looked like it was just a little bit of spine and the horns. She's been contact calling. She's been making a couple of low grunts. We're hoping that the mother potentially might have brought the 3 little ones this side, which would be absolutely incredible for us. I have not yet met the little ones, and for me that would be just, every time you meet a new cub or a new little one, it's always such an honor. It's just overwhelmingly beautiful to be a part of that. This pride has been through such a sad and tumultuous last couple of years. There are only 3 remaining members. The mother, which is the one walking straight ahead, and the 2 daughters. This is one of the daughters. From what I understand from intelligence, the other daughter is currently at the moment on a neighboring reserve mating with 2 new dominant males who have moved into the southern reaches of Ulusaba. Now you'll notice that the lions will typically use the roads. There's a good reason for that. It's a lot easier. Now, if I were to take one of you guys, drop you off in the middle of the bush, take away your shoes, make you barefoot, it would be, which would you rather use? Would you rather walk through thorn-infested, paper thorns on the floor, tick-infested grass, or would you find a nice, smooth, soft road, easier on the feet? And would you rather move on that? You see, that is why they do it. It is a nice, open, easy area for them to move. Mr. Orange and the spoils of war. Look at that. Okay, she's moving to the den.
She might left them people around the hanging tree there by the sorting area.
Yeah. Okay, so of course, as they're walking a lot, they've both just finished an impala last night. Of course, that means that they are going to be very, very thirsty. Their body is going to go into overdrive now to digest the food. Of course, they're going to be breathing very heavy and going to need as much water as they can. So we've seen them stop at about 3 different water holes already, just on the way, the distance that they've traveled so far. Okay, so the lionesses have just arrived at Hippo Dam. It looks like they're going directly south from there. So we're going to quickly loop around and see if we can't maybe intercept them. Going to try and pick up the pace just a tiny little bit. Okay, so we just caught a bit of luck. We caught them as they're about to come out. So very, very cool. Let's see if she can walk right past the vehicle over here. And there it is. Look at that. What an absolutely incredible mission we had this morning. And it was mission accomplished. They are more beautiful than I ever would have imagined. And they are looking so fat and so healthy right now. All of them, both the lionesses just arrived back at the den site, which fortunately enough is in a beautiful area. A little bit tricky to get into, but at the end of the day, it's at least a little bit nice and open around this area here. And the 3 cubs are now suckling from the mom. What an absolute mission accomplished. This makes my heart very, very happy. I just blew a cute fuse. Yep. Orange, what do you think, bud?
Yeah, actually, remember at the beginning when we said if we're lucky, we found them with the cubs. Finally, we got them with the cubs. Makes me happy.
Can't ask for anything better than this. Look at that. They are beautiful and happy and healthy, and I mean, you don't really want to get too attached, unfortunately, because as you said, in this area there's quite a high hyena concentration. There's a few leopards still roaming around in this area. The dangers are always there, but this mother has done an incredible job with her 2 daughters to bring them to this age. And of course now, as we're going further into it, I think they learn more and more each time. But regrettably enough, the mortality rate for predator offspring or predator young are always going to be very, very low, very high, sorry. This is really special. Okay. It appears as though our luck just keeps on getting better and better and better. Drive around the corner here, and who walks around the corner? Our eastern dominant male, Thamba, the king, the tank, the unit, the absolute beast of a leopard. This guy is the epitome of what a big leopard is. He is moving a little bit into euphorbia's territory currently. I mean, this area is an area that's been traditionally dominated by euphorbia for the last couple of years. Maybe he is looking at expanding a little bit, but that's no problem at all. The more interactions we can get, the better it's going to be. Unbelievable luck today. I mean, this is just absolutely incredible. We left the lines no more than 5 minutes ago, and we were going to look at have a nice little leg stretch, and then wham! That's not happening. Here's a fun fact about Thamba. He once tried to mark his territory by urinating on a bush, ended up urinating, missing the bush and urinating all over Orange. So Orange is, technically speaking, his territory at the moment, his possession. Hey, Orange?
He doesn't have any respect.
He's got no respect. It does seem, though, like he's on the scent trail of something. He's stopping, sniffing, and he's profusely marking quite a lot. Generally, that would indicate the presence of another leopard in the area he might be on the trail of. I wonder if he's not looking for euphorbia. So, female-wise, I don't know how many females are in this area. I know Rivala might be around here. This kind of overlaps with what her territory is. However, his big rival at the moment, Euphorbia, he is still very, very powerful, very dominant, and this is his territory. As you can see, his movements are quite erratic. He's stopping, sniffing, backtracking, moving forward, moving backwards, scent marking quite a lot. Come on, go up. No, yes, maybe, perhaps. Yes. That's cool. Okay. As you can see, he's decided to take a bit of a break from destroying my vehicle. He's just busy stopping to listen to pretty much everything that's going on at the moment. Like I said, I don't know what his mission is, but whatever it is, he's definitely 100% focused on it. We're just along for the ride. But no, that's quite a cool little shot. You can see he's just sitting on top of the termite mound. Leopards and predators in particular will often use termite mounds as a little bit of a vantage point. He's stopped, he's listening. Of course, he's got that little bit of elevation. Now, this area is very, very dominated in a lot of combretums, especially saplings. Regrettably enough, it becomes very difficult to see anything further. Presumably, that's why he's been stopping so much, so he can stop, listen to hear if there's any growls. The lions are not around here, but they're not terribly far either. So obviously he has to be extra cautious, not to mention the fact that he is jailbreaking Euphorbia's territory, so caution is definitely the main cause for today.
I think his mission is doing shopping. He's going to do shopping in impala.
On behalf of Ulusaba Game Reserve, I'd like to apologize for Orange. Please do not judge us by that guy. And off he goes. Well, guys, we don't have a door anymore. It has been relegated to the depths of our workshop. Look at that, nice and fresh and free. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that sofa safari with us this morning. I think it was a great success. What a beautiful day we had out here with Mr. Orange, Miss Lauren, our wonderful camera lady, and all the beautiful lions and lion cubs, guys. Gosh, I'm so excited we finally got them. And then that little cherry on top of the banana sundae, which was Thamba at the very end, patrolling his newly stolen territory. So that's it from us, guys. We're going to be signing out now, and feel free to comment if you have any questions on the page, and catch you next time for another Sofa Safari. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. See you next time.